Namaste. I'm so glad to be with you again and get to do one of my favorite things, which is to interview other people on the show. I love doing solo episodes, but I really love to bring amazing folks on to the show. And today's guest is no different. Susan Reis is a certified sound therapist and medium who uses angel songs, light language, which I love, and consciousness tools to bring people to their greatest joy and contribute more positive energy to our world. And she is also an international best-selling author, and she's been featured on a bunch of global telesummits and acknowledged as one of the top 43 healers in the world. I might want to ask you about that. How did that happen? And just, she loves sharing her intuitive gifts and helping others. So I want to officially welcome you, Susan, to Live, Love, Engage.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, Gloria. What a beautiful treat we met, and it just the energy seemed to flow so nice. And this is such an honor and a privilege. And for those of you that never met me, I do this strange thing of opening my mouth and having angel songs come through. And I do like to start any gatherings like this for a couple of reasons. It puts us in this different energy field. It also gives us connected to our highest guides and angels. It kind of gives us a spiritual protection. I use essential oils and other things. I play with angels and essential oils, and I use other things to assist too. But if you don't mind, I'd like to just open up with an angel song, and I never know what's going to come through. And it kind of sets the tone of what our higher selves would like to talk about today.
Well, I like that. So sure, I'm all for shaking things up and doing things a little differently today. So
Let's
yeah,
do it.
I would love for you
Okay.
to share that with us. Go ahead.
And again, like I said, I never know what's come through. It's always a beautiful message for all of you, whether you're listening to this, whenever you find this, it's always just perfect. So here we go. And I might do light language too. So if it comes out with the light language, you are familiar with it. Gloria is familiar with it. You've heard her do light language. Mine comes out with the song, and I might do that too. So just so you know. Yamiyanayam kaya no mai hana kaya no ma kaya nai. We are celebrating that you are gathering today in this way. Kaya nai. And when your hearts go out to help your world, we are here to banish all the fear. Let that heart be clear and simply shine now. It is time now. All's divine now. Do your part, sharing from your heart. Let's start.
I love that. That's lovely. And that's going to work perfectly with my first question today. So, how did you come to be doing things like this, to be sharing angel songs and light language and all of these gifts that you have to share? How did that come
Well,
about?
I certainly didn't come into the world singing light language and angel songs that I remember. Maybe as an infant I was babbling a lot. Though I do know, and it took me a series of years to discover this, but I used to hang out, I study all the religions and hang out at all kinds of churches and do the traditional, raised Catholic, and just kind of loving the good in all the churches and knowing there's something kind of messed up in all of them also. So I have a bachelor's in religious studies, and I would just hang out, and somewhere along the line, I think it was more in my 20s, I went to California. I'm in the Midwest, I'm in Wisconsin, and I went to California, and there it was more open to go to meditation classes. This was in the 90s. I've been doing this for a long time. So no, that was in the 80s. That was in the 80s. And so when I come back to Wisconsin was closer to the 90s. And I had gone to these meditation classes, and I started studying with this woman not far from my home here in Wisconsin, who was a complete channel, what I call a complete channel. I mean, she'd get these downloads, but not have a clue what she said. The only way she knew what she said was she'd have to listen back to the tape recorder. kind of like Edgar Casey. Those of you who know Edgar Casey, he didn't know what he was saying most of the time, things like that. So I would go to these group meetings once or twice a week, and she would teach us how to use our intuitive abilities. And she'd say, look at your partner and tell them, what you feel or think. And people are going, well, I see a rose, or I see a color. And I did that for a little bit, and that wasn't cutting it for me. And one of these days I just said, I feel like singing this song. So I started singing mine. Yeah, na, na, yeah, na, yeah. It's nice for me to talk about after you see the example of what I just did. It makes more sense. So that was like 30 some years ago. And it's so funny, maybe a little later than that, but it was so funny. I was actually not soon after I was my husband's from a family of 10, and I remember being out with his oldest sister, who would be the least likely to be in this. And we were at some event at a bar or something, some gathering. And I just decided I wanted to start singing to people in the bars. And then it's so funny because then she came up to me and she was interested in what messages were coming through in songs too. And you never know who's going to be open to what when. And this, like I say, was many, many years ago now. And it's now more than ever. I wrote this little book called 5 Sacred Minutes to Your Joyful Self. And I wrote that on 11/11 of 2011. And it's got sound therapy, and it talks more about not so much my journey, but the basics like cutting cords and clearing contracts and what some of us consider really fundamentals for clearing energy. Well, that book wanted to come back out now, 11 years later. And it's being reintroduced to the world. It's so funny. This really ages. You can tell how much things have changed, because when I wrote the book, it had CDs in it.
Yeah.
You could buy the book and you'd put in your CD and you'd listen to, it's got these beautiful sound therapy meditations in it. Now it's like people don't even, have CD players. They're hard to come by. So I did revamp it so that now you just download it's MP3s, and you can just download these beautiful sound therapy things. So I was having fun with that. And so somewhere, back to your question, somewhere along the line, I just knew not only that I had these gifts, but I knew that I came into this world, that I had a choice to come back here or not come back here, and that I decided to be here on this planet at this time in this dimension to help with the transitions that are happening right now. So I always had not a super conscious knowing, but kind of a knowing that we all have this choice. It's like our soul says, do you want to go here and help? And even in my book, it's so funny. I forgot this was written in the book, but there's a line in there that says, when we were asked if we wanted to come and help at this time, we lined up by the hundreds of thousands or something. This was some downloaded message I got, waiting to be here at this time. And those of us that chose to be here, I got goosebumps on that. Those of us that chose to be here, you probably know more, or all the people you talk to probably hear different things, how we get our own little joyful stuff happening, or we get our soul growth happening even a little quicker by volunteering to be here. Though for me, it's kind of like just the joyful experience of it, and remembering that it can be a joyful experience, and you get there by gratitude. I mean, really looking around at the simplest things. It's like, oh, I get my hands work and my eyes see. I'm human. I'm here. This is cool. And then celebrating all the things along the way, and I've gone from no money to money, and no health to health, and no love to love. And I've created joyful abundance in all areas of my life. So I have a lot to celebrate, which is easier. But what I teach them when people find their way to me, I just kind of remind people we hold the energetic morphic field of the multidimensions, of course, but also just so they can remember who they are. And it's as simple as being that that light, that, you hear the word love and people can receive that or not receive that, but that joy they can receive better.
Mm.
So the one saying in my book I like to go by is be joyful always, pray at all times, give thanks in all circumstances. And for those of you who do know the Bible, that's Thessalonians. I can't say exactly which line anymore. I used to be able to. And I've read the Bible inside out, backwards, upside down, and forward throughout the years. And there are nuggets in there. Again, there's such beautiful, beautiful energy nuggets in there. There's good and bad in all religions. I say the good is God's source energy, and the bad is man getting in there and messing things up. But you can just, I could talk forever. I'm sorry, I should have warned you. I could go on like this for hours.
It's okay. I appreciate you pausing to let me follow up with something. Because, well, number one, yeah, see, I knew we're like in total alignment, because I do resonate so well with everything that you said so far. And I want to play not exactly devil's advocate, but to be able to help those out there who maybe have trouble seeing the joy, and are, because, you turn on whatever social media, you go, the media in general, television, whatnot, there's so much negativity out there bombarding us, which is why I try to limit my exposure to that, because I don't want to bring that negative energy in. So how do you counsel people on helping them to find that joy, to be able to really be joyful always?
Yeah, beautiful question. That's what I was just going to lead into, is when you take it apart, be joyful always. It's not talking about the Pollyannish or getting drunk or being high or being joyful. And there's different bridges and people do different things. The first thing is not judging anything, just not judging anything. But what we talk about is, because I love all of it. I love tasting life and family and fun and everything, four-wheeling, and I mean all kinds of stuff, funny stuff. So maybe not so much four-wheeling anymore. I used to. So be joyful always means that you can find joy in, be joyful always, pray at all times, give thanks in all circumstances, kind of goes hand in hand. So in your darkest night of the soul, when you're really depressed, first of all, in my groups and stuff, I teach a whole bunch of ways to look at the energy. Is it yours? Is it someone else's? What is it? What do you do if it's something else's? What if it's something outside of yourself? We are under different energetic fields of energy. So depression it's never your own. If you wouldn't choose it, it's a lie, because we create from this beautiful white source, pure love space. So if you wouldn't choose it, it's a lie. So just by knowing that, it's like, what do you mean it's a lie? It's really there. It's really there. My best friend just did this or that. So the first thing I share is a couple things. You can just stop. And this is huge. And those of you listening, whenever you find this, you want to write this down, and this will change your life. Any situation, you say, what's right about this that I'm not getting? And what else is possible? What's right about this? I'll give you an example, because stories help to make it make sense. So my son had a car accident several years ago now. It was 4th of July, coming out from the fireworks. He's a fairly new driver. And someone said, go ahead. And he went ahead and crashed. Nobody got hurt, thank God. So right away, I'm going to, what's right about this that I'm not getting? What else is possible? Well, no one was hurt. And we wanted a new vehicle. And long story short, we got a much newer vehicle. And then you think, oh, it's going to be $7,000 out of our pocket to get a new vehicle, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, because I kept saying what's right about this that I'm not getting, what else is possible? About 2 days later, we had the new vehicle, and it cost us exactly 10 cents.
Oh my gosh.
The insurance paid this, and this paid this, and this. I'm sitting there, and they're saying, oh, it's going to be $7,000 to get this next vehicle. And I kept going, what's right about this that I'm not getting? What else is possible? So what happens, you open up a new doorway. Some people call them timelines these days. And you are on a timeline with joyful possibilities. And if you remember this, whenever something goes wrong, you go, what's right about this that I'm not getting? You stop the problem timeline that you're on and you begin to live in the new joyful possibilities timeline. And it's amazing. And that's just kind of a real 3D, but you'll see miracles happen all over the place because you said that, because you asked.
Yeah, and I love that because it really is. You're opening yourself up to the universe, to your higher self, whatever, to be able to find solutions. And because you're right, because when you are stuck in that negative energy, when you're stuck in the, oh my God, this is a problem, then you're operating from, I think it's the limbic brain or something like that. And so you're not able to relax and allow these things to come up. So I love that. And I might even pull that out and actually put that in the show notes as like a resource, because, I'll put, like a link to your website or your book or something in there. But I just think that is such a real, I can see how it absolutely can be a game changer for folks to be able to
It
do
really
that.
is. And then you take the be joyful, always pray at all times, and you're connecting to source. That's a way to kind of start out your energetic field. If you never get out of bed until you're connected to your highest guides and angels, God, Jesus, however, whoever, whatever, something positive, something joyful. When you start your day and you don't even get out of bed, without being connected to source, pray at all times. It's not just the prayer that we're, used to from our growing up. Oh, dear God, please help me. No, it's a prayer from us being God source energy in the world, sharing our joy, lighting this world. And then automatically these things are not happening because it's the mirror effect.
Right.
We are mirroring what we're being, and these problems don't exist so much. You'll be the one going to the store, and then I got a really cool thing to share. You'll love this one. I'll share it now. It's called segment intending, if you've heard of it or something. Many of you probably have. So say you're already praying at all times. So your prayer can be a question. Oh, what would it take to have my trip to the store be more fun than I can even ever imagine? Now you're already paving the way to that. That's the path you just chose and told God, source, universe, yourself that you're creating from. So then you're the one who normally maybe was at the back of the line complaining and running late. All of a sudden, you're the person who's at the front of the line, and your checkout girl is the most amazing, joyful person you've ever experienced. And you're laughing and you're thanking and you're being nice to each other, and you're out the door in 15 minutes. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's a way of saying, sort of like the law of attraction, because whatever you are putting out in the universe, that's what you tend to attract. And I've seen this. I have lovely family members, and one was my mom, God rest her soul. And she loved to complain about things and then always found things to complain about.
Oh, yeah.
And instead of being, finding things to be grateful for, which is where I try to focus, I still have my moments of, but I do like to, well, even this morning I was not in the best of moods. And then I went into my bedroom and the cat was on top of the bed. And so I started playing with him, and I'm like, thank you, Jackson. You just got me back in a better mood again. Because just spending a minute, even just playing with him and just being in that type of a joy was enough to shift my energy. And that's all it takes sometimes, but it does take being conscious about it. And doing that. What do you,
Yeah, but
what's
there's
your
simple
thoughts about
choices, which
that?
goes on to step 3. Be joyful, always pray at all times, give thanks in all circumstances. I tell people all the time, go rub your puppy's belly. I do this little thing in my beginning classes. I don't know if I even have beginning classes right now going on, but it's in the book. It's in the book. So I'll talk about that. So you don't have to take notes if you're going to get the book. This is all in the book. I just tell people to write down the letter B, and underneath the letter I, and underneath the letter A. B is for blessings, but not just the, oh, thank you, it's a nice day. I say, go rub your puppy's belly. Go really feel the joy and the giddiness and the fun, just what you were talking about with the kitty. And then when you're in that energy of blessings, Then you put your intention, I is for intention. So
Mm.
now I'm in this lovey, thank you, this is fun. Life doesn't have to be so hard. I can grab these moments all the time. Be joyful always, pray at all times, give thanks in all circumstances. I'll talk about that in a minute in a different way. But, and then, so you have that energy going, blessings, intentions, and then you take your actions.
Mm.
Blessings, B for blessings, I for intentions, and A for actions. And then you're taking actions from this divinely connected, fun, joyful, grateful place. And that's when things can start flowing really, really, really quickly. And then the other side of that coin is be joyful in all circumstances.
Right.
Like, what? That goes back to the what's right about this, that I'm not getting what else is possible. You'll
Exactly.
use that all the time. I swear, if you guys found your way to this, it's destined. And you will use that again and again and again. And if you do, find your way to my Facebook group and tell me it works. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah, and it does. I've had another mentor as well who always talked about gratitude and about finding things to be grateful for, even in circumstances that, as you said, things that are someone might refer to as a challenge or something that's not going right, but to be able to find something still to be grateful for, or to find what is right about this, that I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool way to do
So
it.
way back whenever that was written, that was a nugget. And you'll
Yeah.
find those nuggets if wherever you find them and meant to find them. But I'm happy that the book wants to come back and that the message wants to come back, especially at this time. I don't know when you're gonna air, but pretty much the time of Christ consciousness is right now. We're in the I love Jesus. I love all, like I say, the good and bad in all religions. And the Christ consciousness energy is a very heart-centered, loving energy. And if we were filled with that to start our day, and we could, there'd be some, working with kindness and
Mhm.
fun.
Yep.
People forget about plain old fun. Our world will be created anew. It's from simple things like that. And
Mhm.
we are the ones we've been waiting for. It's not going to be some big person. It's going to be the shop, the girls at the checkouts line at the grocery store. It's going to be the teachers. It's going to be the lawyers. It's going to be everyone. Every single person you can imagine is going to be us. So we are the ones we've been waiting for, and it comes one person at a time from being connected to source on a regular basis.
Yeah,
That's how
definitely.
our world will get changed.
Absolutely. Um, what are you curious about right now?
Hmm. I'm curious about how many people are aware that they may not be serving themselves and the world well by so much internet
Mm.
and so much TV, and that it's a vibration frequency. I'm a sound therapist. I've been doing this a long time. So everything, sound is what created the world. Sound is so when you want something to change, you can sound it out. What would it take to have the trip to the store be more joyful than I can even ever imagine? It is created. So if you're listening to worries, fears, complaints, sounding out, sounding out, sounding out, it is created. So I'm curious in what would it take for us to realize it's okay to turn off to stay away, to really just go out in nature and walk without the social media, without the electricity, without the headphones, without that, and be okay with getting to know ourselves.
Mm.
So I'm very curious about what is going to shift, because it's a it's a it's a problem. It's a problem out there what we're doing now. And then when people look at the TV and if you're going to watch the news, I always recommend, some of you are very evolved, I don't like the word evolved. I'm going to change that because that implies judgment. Some of you are here to create a huge, wonderful, positive change in the world. And by doing that, it's your job to pray and to watch and to transmute and to change. If you're one of them, go for it. As long as you clear your energy and you know what you're doing. But if you're just here and you're turning on the TV and every 5 minutes is a prescription drug and the other 5 minutes is something to worry and fear about, just turn it off. It's not your job. And if it's not your job, then you're taking it in internally and you're doing the opposite of creating a world that we would love to live in. So
Yeah.
I'm curious about more of a question. What would it take for people to understand that their energy creates worlds? And our world can be created by what your energy is and what you do with your energy.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting when you talked about the sound, and that I was listening to but I was listening to NPR today when I was out running some errands, and they had a scientist on who they discovered that black holes actually emit sound vibrations, and they were able to sort of recreate. Of course, they can't, it's too far away to be able to actually record something, but they were able to recreate it. And they said that it's a very low vibration, and even that, it was too low that humans could hear, so they still had to do some other kind of technical thing to be able to have it to be able to be heard. But it's so interesting to think that, typically people think in space there is no sound because there's no thing really hard necessarily, I think, to vibrate off of. And yet they're finding that even in these mysterious black holes, there's still sound vibration. So, and it just comes back to the fact that we are all made of energy. We are all vibrating, and we need to decide what kind of vibrations we want to put out in the world. And as you say, if we're listening to things that are at a lower vibration, then unless we have a way to be able to protect ourselves, we're going to be absorbing that and then transforming that or transmuting it maybe out again, transferring, one of those words anyway. You know what I mean? So we need to
You'll
be
be putting
careful.
out an energy that you don't want to come back, because if it comes back at you, just think, if you put out everything, if you put out everything and it comes back to you, do you want to put out good, kind, thoughtful energy and have that come back to you? Do you want to put out you can't be in complaining and gratitude at the same time.
It's true. Yep.
You just can't. So are you going to be grateful and celebrating? And I mean, just celebrating. Celebrating, you get to have grass to walk on or snow to walk on, or celebrating anything you can find to celebrate, and grateful for whatever you can be grateful for. Or you can be complaining and fearful and worried, and whichever you choose is what you're adding to the world, and whatever you choose of those will come back to you also.
Yeah, definitely. What what experiences would you like to have before you're finished with this particular go round on planet Earth?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you so much. I want to create wellness facilities to replace mental health facilities. So one of my legacy things I'm choosing is to create sound therapy wellness facilities to replace. So there's people go, what are mental health facilities? I've never heard of such a thing. What, you have to wait 2 weeks when you're suicidal to get a bed? What? That's what I want people to know. It's a broken system. I want to replace wellness centers so that they have sound therapy, they have essential oils, they have all the different healing gifts that are available. I'd like to have sound bars on every corner that there's a bar. So that if you can go to a sound bar and you can listen to sound therapy, you can have a massage, you can live guitar, you can have your holistic food, holistic energy. I'd like those two things I'd like to see them, and I'd like to be part of creating them in this lifetime. So that's a great question.
I love that. And if I can be of any help, let me know, because that sounds like a wonderful, wonderful venture to be involved in. Because can you imagine that? I mean, seriously, like instead of a McDonald's, on every corner, you had one of those instead to be able to.
The good, the good food, the green drinks. There's plenty of stuff to be had out there. The nice food and drinks, and it's all energy,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's all
exactly.
energy. So that's what I'd like to see, at least the start of that.
All right. Is there anything else that I should have asked you about that I didn't yet? And we can.
Well, I can go on and on and on, so don't get me started too much.
Okay.
But
Well,
I think it was nice that we kept it simple.
I got a better question for you. How about if someone listening out there they see that they want to be able to make a change and to be able to start kind of following what you were talking about today. What would be, say, the very first thing that they could do? Or even like what's maybe even the most important thing? I think you've probably already said it already, but let's
No,
reinforce it.
actually, I didn't. So thank you for this
Okay.
question. The most important thing I'm feeling these days is community. Is
Okay.
community. We are in such a troublesome energy that it is so hard to go it alone. So gather in a community, find a community. I've got a Facebook group. Come there. It doesn't cost you anything. You'll be invited to hang out. I do sound therapy activations and we support each other, we love each other, and start your own community. And if you're not hanging with like-minded people that are raising your vibration every day, get with one. And if you can't get with one, start one. And it's a ripple effect. And share your intuitive gifts. The people who find their way to me have these amazing intuitive gifts. Many people come to me when they just kind of think they have some gifts or they think they're going to do light language, and they go on to help hundreds of people, thousands of people all over the world. By trusting in that, but they may not have done it on their own. I don't know how you came to be. Were you supported when you came into you using your light language? Did you just wake up one day and have light language?
No, I was definitely, well, I was exposed to it first at a conference, and then I had one of my former coaches. I noticed he was doing it, and then we got together for a session, and he encouraged me to do it. And
Mhm.
so
See?
so he
So you
kind of
had
helped.
someone else point it out. So
Yeah.
that's the good stuff. People will shine a light. Your mentors and coaches will shine a light and bring all. So that's why people come with me. They have these I'm sorry, it's not an ego thing. It's just a fact that they have these
Yeah.
tremendous things happen in their life. Their dream houses. One person made $1 million in 6 months and they didn't even have $97 to start with. The miracles. But that's because we hold the space together for miracles. We work
Mhm.
in the multi dimensions. We work with the higher self, our highest guides and angels. And it's a space that we can, but it's mainly just holding this space where you're supported and you can say, Susan, um, acting as someone, a facilitator holding the space, can shine the light on these good things that are coming, like yours did. I think you're going to be doing light language. We can also shine the light. When you hear me say we, that's the angels talking,
Mhm.
because I kind of channel while I talk. So they say we can shine the light and help with the dark things and the unknowns. And where I really talk about healer to the healers, I'll tell you what that's about, is because I can help healers who might be dealing with some shadow work and things like that, tripping them up, where they really could be sharing their gifts with the world, but they get tripped up. And that's kind of unknown. I mean, it can be energetic on a timeline. It can be energetic with your lineage. It can be galactic. It can
Yeah.
be all kinds of different things. So, but it's something that they're not going to find on their own. So they're sent to me because I can help hold that space where their highest guides and angels can shine the light with the good, shine the light to assist with the dark. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that you made that comment about the community, because you're right. It really does make so much sense. And because we're not here to do things alone. We really are not. We are social creatures, and everything is so much better together.
Mhm.
So what is the name of your Facebook group?
It's changing actually. Right
Oh,
now
okay.
it's joyful. You can find it, but it's going to be changing. I just decided today, so December or January. Right now it's Joyful Possibilities Earth Angel Meeting Space. And it's just requiring a little bit different energy. So you can get there and be there and be part and join. And just so you know, the name is going to be taking the next level. And it's really going to be more along the lines of, I don't know yet. So a joyful, enlightened entrepreneurs. It's more like calling in those who are enlightened philanthropists who really want to create the change. Like me, I want to create the sound therapy to replace the mental health facilities.
Yeah,
So it's going to be supporting the people who are choosing epic, like enlightened philanthropists, intuitive creations,
I like it. All right, very
right?
good.
So
Okay.
you might find it called Joyful Possibilities Enlightened Philanthropists Meeting Space or something like that. So it's changing.
I'll find it. Whatever it is in the show notes, that will be whatever it is then. So
Yeah,
so
right.
it's
By
all
the time
good.
you find your way to the
Just go to the
show,
show
it'll
notes,
be,
you'll find the link.
and if not, you'll find it. It's going to be the same group. It's not going to change at all. So it's going to
Yeah.
be one that will be one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had Facebook groups and I've changed the names of them over the years. And I was called to start a new group just a couple of months ago myself. So I've created the Soulful Women's Network. So,
Okay.
so there you go, because it's about bringing women together and being able to support one another.
And we're changing, and so many of us are waking up and really looking for things that are just we're just calling in our tribes.
Yeah.
It's our soul contract agreement people who are meant to find us. So it's a vibrational frequency. Words are important, sounding is important, trusting the process is important, being willing to be seen is important. You know, a lot of changes. So it doesn't surprise me that the name wants to be a little bit changed too.
Of course, yeah. And one more thing before we go. So if someone does want to connect with you, maybe to be able to work with you, or to get your book, where is the best place for people to do that?
Well, that's something that's not going to change, though it has already. You can go to my full name, Susan Elizabeth Reis, and that'll be, I'm sure you'll post my thing. That's not changing, though it did change. It was called joyfulpossibilities.net. You can still find both, but my most current website is susanelizabethreis.com. And you will, this is so funny. I can't believe I'm saying it this way because it's kind of a judgment thing. That I'm just saying what's coming through. You really want to get there because there's a sound therapy gift there that you're going to love. So you go to susanelizabethreis.com, and there, right towards the angel, you'll see the big gold angel. You can opt in for a free gift, and it's not one free gift. It's several. The first one is morphing into the joyful, enlightened millionaires energy. So that's a beautiful one. And then you're going to get all these other little sound therapy things. And I think and then you get the things that come on a regular basis that I send out to my people.
All right. Well, I will, as you say, I will make sure that that is in the show notes. And just for those of you listening, her last name is spelled Reis. So
Yes.
that's how you spell Reis.
Yes.
So, but again, go to livelovengagepodcast.com and look for this episode, and you will get all of that information, and it'll all be good. And you'll have a link to it from whatever podcast platform you're landing on, and or if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll have the information too. So let's see. I think that's probably going to do it for me. So thank you so much for being with us today, Susan. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And if it's okay, I'd love to end with a little angel song, kind of close up our meeting together.
All right. Well, we'll end with that, and then I'll do my other little
And then
ending
you
as
do your
well.
formal close.
My
So here we
formal
go.
close. Yeah. Okay.
We are seeing as you gather in this way, your energy is calm. This we see, and you have fun, and fun is allowed to be within your day each day. Just relax and play each day. Let yourself have fun. Your journey can be a very joyful one. You have just begun. Walk your journey now with fun. Kaya no mai hana, kaya no ma. Now we're done.
I love it. Thank you so much. That was just beautiful. I really
They
appreciate
are
it.
so humorous. Talk about fun and laughter. That's the best energy out there. If you go back and listen to the first song, they put it in like, okay, we're done talking next. And now they did it again. How funny. So thank you so much, Gloria, for having me on your show. I absolutely loved it and love everything you're sharing in the world. And I look forward to seeing you again.
All right. And I do want to thank all of you for watching and for listening. And you keep me going every day. And I so appreciate you. And as always, I want to encourage you to go out and have fun and live fully, love deeply, and engage authentically.